Hey, what's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another live edition of the Dawgs podcast coming to you from a Victory Monday. This is what we were talking about all last week. We wanted Victory Monday, and we are here. How you guys feeling today?
You talking to the chat? Or you
I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to you guys. I'm talking to the chat. I'm talking to Bengals fans. I've been talking to them all day. So what do you guys think?
Well, I slept like a baby, knowing that the Bengals got beat by some elves. It was a real good feeling. What a game. What a game.
Yeah, it sure was. It was. So Blake's not with us today. It's the three J's. You got Josh, Justin, and John with you. So we're just going to go through our recap of the game. Justin and Blake and myself were all at the game yesterday. It was awesome. Justin, a little less awesome because his seats weren't covered like ours were, so he got a little wet. And we'll talk about the weather. We'll talk about the dome conversation. We'll talk about Jamar Chase running his freaking mouth and still doing it. We'll talk about injuries and just defense. And, man, I'm pumped. I'm so pumped right now.
Me too. Let's do this.
Okay, let's do this. So where do you guys want to kick this thing off? You want to talk about the 12% chance of rain all afternoon, and we actually got hit with 100 constantly?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know, man. I seriously prepared for the game. I told my wife, hey, leave poncho, anything that is for rain, leave that back. We don't need that.
Yeah.
And then we got up to Cleveland at 7 o'clock in the morning into our tailgate, and it rained for the entire day. It's probably till about 5:30. Yep. Good times. No, I mean, it wasn't too bad. It was coming down. It was not great conditions for what we wanted as far as just to get a feel for what the team really is, especially for the offense. And then, outcome of the game, now all you hear is, oh, well, the rainy conditions helped out the defense and Joe Burrow. That's why he looked rough. And I'm like, all right. But no, it was pretty rough.
Let's quote Blake Reneker for a second since he's not here.
Okay.
How has this bad weather been an advantage to the Browns for the last 25 years?
Yeah, and I used that same exact example to somebody on Twitter. They said, it's an advantage whenever you get the Southern Dome teams that come to town. I said, you mean except for the Saints last year that came up here and beat us in 4-degree weather, right? It's not an advantage.
Right.
It's not. You know what I mentioned right before we recorded? If Amari Cooper could have easily gotten hurt.
Yes.
And he slipped on that play, caught the ball, held on to it 100% because we don't have a dome. That is why that happened. That's the only reason that happened.
There was a lot of slipping, sliding. I mean, and we were listening to the post game yesterday, and Deshaun Watson was talking. They were asking him about the rainy conditions, and one thing that he just kind of mentioned, he wasn't making an excuse, he just was answering the question. He said how much heavier the ball is when it rains the whole game. The balls never get dry; they're always wet. And I was talking to Blake on the way back. I said, it's something I never really thought about is how much of a difference that would make as a quarterback, just trying to lead a receiver and a 20-yard pass. Well, I got to put a little more on it than normal, and I don't know. You saw that yesterday. You saw a lot of that.
I wish it wouldn't have been raining, to be honest. For all the things that you just talked about, I saw numerous balls get thrown in the dirt, and I was just like, I really, really wish this was just great conditions because I want to get a read on it. And I think Watson ended up playing a pretty solid game.
I do too.
I'm not even talking bad right now. But at the beginning, I was like, oh, man, yikes. But, I mean, you saw it on the other side of the ball also. It's not like either offense was flourishing at the beginning. Would it be sweet to have a dome? I think the fan experience would probably be a lot better. I'm sure the players would probably enjoy it better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now you just got to get everybody to pay the money. And by the people, I mean us.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So I'm looking in the chat here. I see we've got some True Senpai says unacceptable that Blake is not here. We agree. Kenny and Mac did say Blake slid in the rain like Amari Cooper, so he's on IR. That is true. That did happen. But Blake did leave a voicemail. So I think I got audio situation figured out here for these live streams. I think I can play voicemails. I'm going to hit go on Blake's voicemail for this show. And if you guys cannot hear it while we're just sitting here all quiet, let us know in the chat. But here we go with Blake.
What's up, guys? Blake Redeker here with the Dawgs podcast. Sorry I couldn't make it today. Bengals fans, we try to tell you. You don't want to listen, but we try to tell you. We told you this defense was different. Joe Woods isn't here anymore. This defensive line is going to be top 3, 4 in the league. And there's nothing you can do about it from now until forever. We own you. We will always own you. You will always just be Cincinnati. It doesn't matter what you ever do or think you've done. It doesn't matter how many second place finishes Cincinnati. And we tried to tell you that. And don't pretend like this game didn't matter now that you lost it. You ran your mouths. You talked your crap for a month and a half since the schedule's been released. And now suddenly you lose the game. Oh, it's just week 1. It's the Browns Super Bowl. We got bigger things to worry about. Blah, blah, blah. Loser mentality. Expect nothing less from the Bengals. Take your L, and we'll see you in week 18 when we hand you another one.
So that's pretty much
shots fired.
That's right.
Yeah, shots fired for sure.
I got to say, I mean, all over social media, I feel like Bengals fans, first of all, ran their mouths like crazy before the game, like crazy.
Yep.
And
Chirping.
the constant thing was, oh, well, this is the Browns Super Bowl and it's just week 1 for us. Like we don't care about the Browns. Like, well, that's going to get you to lose if that's the mentality. You can't overlook anybody. And of course, we go out there and we stomp them 24-3, just absolutely butt whoop them up and down the field. And now it's, oh, well, the Browns suck. They're never going to go to the playoffs anyway, so it doesn't really matter. If the Browns are that bad, and we just beat you guys 24-3, and you couldn't even sniff 100 yards passing in the game, how are you any good?
So just to answer that, so as far as the players, I don't think Cincinnati came in like flat. I really don't. I think that they were pumped up for this game just as much as Browns were. And sometimes that energy works. Like, when one of your best players is talking big. I mean, and nobody really cares when Tyreek Hill does it and then he goes out there and does, what he does. Now, you have to back that performance up. So for me, all week I heard from, and I don't know who else said it, Josh Muntz chirping about Cincinnati. It was very quiet in the fourth quarter.
It got quiet.
It was a lot more empty seats than when I got there. So it's just kind of interesting, but I wouldn't expect, anything less.
Yeah. That's what they do.
We had a row of, actually it was funny, we had a row of young guys in front of us, and they were all University of Cincinnati graduates, right? They were from Cincinnati. Okay. Half of them were Browns fans, half of them were Bengals fans. And the razzing between the two fan bases, between this group of friends, was hilarious. We were getting a kick out of it. And the guys with their Bengals jerseys on were very, what do I want to say, just arrogant, just kind of really dumb about what was going on in the game until about, like you said, partway through about that third quarter. They sat down, and at one point they got up and left, and we never saw them again.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yep.
That sounds about right. I feel bad. I did hear some really, really good jokes. I'll save those for the after hours just because I don't want us to get kicked off of YouTube.
Oh,
but I did hear some I did hear some good Cincy jabs while I was there. But absolutely.
All right, well, here.
On to the next, man.
I was going to say, before we dive into the next topic here, Caesar Sportsbook, for everybody in Ohio, they're kicking off this NFL season. You get a new bet, $50, get $250 in bonus bets. This is a limited time offer. If you're a new user, you can sign up with our code DAWGSGET, DAWGSGET, all one word, redeem $250 in bonus bets after you place your first wager of $50 on any NFL game. So even if your first bet loses, you get one $50 bonus bet credit each week over the next 5 weeks. So make sure you enter our code DAWGSGET when you sign up. Have a bet on Caesars every week for the start of the season. That's code DAWGSGET. This offer is only available for new customers who are 21 and older and physically present in Ohio. Please gamble responsibly. If you or a loved one has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER and check the episode description for the full terms of the offer to see if you qualify. And if you guys want to play Week 2 Pick'em with us, go to splashsports.com/dogs. Week 1 is, we got one game left in the Pick'em, and right now I'm pretty sure I'm winning. So if you guys want to jump in there, me and Blake were talking about this yesterday. What was that, 2 years ago, Justin? We did Pick'em every week for the NFL slate. And we did pretty good. We were like, what, 80, somewhere like
I
85,
thought we did.
87%.
I thought we were pretty solid at it.
We were really good at it overall. And yeah, so if you guys want to get into the week 2 contest, splashsports.com/dogs. Only 25 entry spots for this week, so get in and try to win. Top 3 win. All right, Kenny Mack right here. I just saw his comment pop up. First thing, Jack Conklin career done. DeJuan to the rescue. You guys want to talk about Conklin?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So Jack Conklin, and I guess we can kind of tie this into another unfortunate topic I have here, which is Jedrick Wills looks like he's going to be a liability this year on the offensive line, unfortunately. And Jed Wills tore his ACL and MCL yesterday on a play where Trey Hendrickson just bull rushed through Jed Wills, and he kind of lost his block and shoved him into the side of Conklin's knee. Done for the year.
Yeah, bad injury. Pretty sure I saw his ACL, MCL, both torn.
Yep.
So, I mean, he's out for the season. Gotta hope that, you can bounce back from that. It's a bad injury. I mean, it's an injury that he's probably going to have to, work his ass off to get back into football for, but it sucks. And for Wills, I think maybe this is a good opportunity. Back's against the walls as far as I'm concerned. Like, you're bringing in Jones. It just sucks. It sucks. I was hoping Conklin would be like that sturdy piece for us for the season, that guy we didn't have to worry about. But for Wills, it's an opportunity. I hope that we see something in this next year, because effort-wise, I didn't see him stand out too bad as usual, but then I saw like the stats afterwards as far as the pressures and stuff like that. I think you're going to get into it, and
yeah,
it didn't sound very good.
No, I can give you guys those stats real quick. So this is all based on PFF, what they were statting out yesterday. The Cleveland Browns offensive line only allowed 9 pressures yesterday. 4 of them were from Jed Wills. He gave up a sack, a hit on the quarterback, and 2 hurries. The only other lineman that gave up any pressure was Ethan Posick, the center, and he gave up 3 hurries. Let's see, DeJuan Jones came in for Jack Conklin, played 35 pass blocking snaps, gave up 0 pressures. Same story we heard all preseason from DeJuan Jones. Guys are pass rushing, and he's not giving up crap to them, and he just did it again yesterday. Against
a good team.
Yep.
Against a defense, I mean, they lost some pieces in the secondary, but that front was still good. Henderson's pretty good. Hubbard's good. These are talented defensive fronts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's great. That looks great for us. That looks like an absolute steal in the fourth round. That pick.
Oh my God.
And you figure, this guy was going to be a developmental project, and hopefully 2 years from now he can come in and start. Well, hey, we're here. It's week 2. You're probably going to be starting. It's exciting. I think that he has all the skills to be successful, and it looks like he's got to be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. I did want to mention that the other, I think Deshaun Watson, he took 3 sacks yesterday, and I believe it was the first one. Just an absolute, and the thing is, we never say anything bad about Nick Chubb because there's hardly ever anything bad to say about him. But boy, did he whiff on that pass block. I forget who it was coming through the line there and just ran right into Deshaun. So, got to clean some of that stuff up.
I remember another one. I remember another one too, where he ended up trying to take on 2 guys, and I was like, "Oh man, that was all." I believe that was still first, second quarter, and I was like, we got to figure this out.
Yeah.
But, okay.
All right. So I kind of forgot to mention this, obviously, at the front of the show. We do have a bunch of voicemails to get to today, and I'm just pumped that I'm able to play them now. So let's see. Do you guys want to dive into this first one? I got one from Andrew Jackson, our boy here.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go.
Do it.
Hey, guys. After a 21-point win and our defense looking like it did, I'm looking at hotel rooms in Las Vegas in February. Man, how hard is it to not be excited for this team? Let's go, guys.
Dude, it is so easy to be excited for this team. And we've been excited. We talked about this. We've been excited going into seasons before. And then the Browns come out and just lay a dud like right away. And it's like, oh, man, you got to be kidding me. But it's just this year was different. It felt different. Everything, all the signings, all the moves, everything they did pointed to exactly what happened yesterday. We saw it in the preseason. We saw the defense, the intensity, and it was like, man, if our fourth stringers are playing like this, what are our starters going to look like? And we saw it yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, this is the first time I've ever felt so confident. I go into every season hoping we're good and looking at the pieces we have in place. Okay, maybe we can be good, right?
Yeah.
No, this year I was so confident. You might remember we all kind of predicted that we were going to beat the Bengals very badly. We were all confident in that, and that's exactly what happened. They can't beat us. They're just not good enough. So we are different this year. We're built different. We're coached different. And we're ready to surprise some people. And I know I'm the only one that wasn't at the game. So in the chat, you guys can let me know if you agree. I felt like the announcers were pro Cincy the whole time, no matter what we did to them. It was kind of getting ridiculous. I don't know how long it's going to take, but eventually around the league, people are going to start respecting us because we're going to make them.
Yeah, there's definitely a Cleveland against the world. Like, that is true. That is so real. Like, the hate for Cleveland it's real, and it's strong. It's vicious. It's from casual fans and the media alike, and we're here to just tell them all to shove it where they can shove it.
I was going to say, dang, man, we're live. Hold up, bro.
I know. Maybe I'll save some of that for your jokes on the after hours, too. All right, let's do one more real quick, and then we can talk about some other stuff. So this one's Brad Moneymaker.
What is up, Browns fans? Was that a win? Was that an epic win? Yeah. What the media, Deshaun's contract is crazy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Well, look at Joe Burrows. Only put up 3 points. Ha. I don't care about the weather. John Watson made it happen. And our defense. I'm calling it right now. Top 5 in the league right now. Already. Let's go. And the Steelers, oh my gosh, what are they doing? So, it was a great day. Great day for football. Woo!
Kind of goes with Gage Tucker here in the chat. Said we need to win week 2 and move to 2-0 in the North and the AFC. I'm telling you what, that Pittsburgh game's shaping up to be really in the Browns' favor with the way the defense played and the way Kenny Pickett looked the other day. But we'll dive into Pittsburgh later in the week. What do you guys got about yesterday?
I wanted to touch on the defense because not only was what they did impressive as a unit, can we talk about the secondary for a second?
Yes, please. I have some stats.
Do this. Let's do it.
I do have some stats.
Let's
also,
hear 'em,
bro.
baby.
So just the ones that I wanted to hit on, just the guys that I felt like just were immediate impact. You could see it in the game. Grant Delpit showed up.
Yes.
Grant Delpit showed up. He had numerous plays where he saved on third down, and he was the guy. He was the only guy. I thought he looked great. I thought our quarterbacks, oh my gosh. Denzel looked great coming off of concussion protocol. I was nervous about him even playing the game, and then what would he look like even out there? Showed up. And then a guy, I'll hit Newsome too, but a guy that's making a name for himself very, very quickly, man. Martin Emerson is that guy. Yes. He is for real that dude out there. He was out there for 33 coverage snaps and he allowed 6 yards. And this isn't the first time this guy's done this. He is quickly making a name for himself. And another third-round guy, a steal that just came in and he can be a complimentary starter. And I don't want to, pump him up too much, but he looks like he could be a future star in the league. He looks great. The whole secondary looked great yesterday like that.
Yep. So were those all your stats? You want me to throw a couple more in here?
Go ahead and throw some more stats in. I just have a bunch of scribbles and stuff.
Delpit, like you said, I had him number 1 on my list. Led the team, 8 tackles.
Yeah.
Like you said, he was targeted 7 times. He only allowed 4 catches for 14 yards on the day. Greg Newsome allowed 2 catches on 3 targets for 18 yards. Denzel Ward, 4 for 8 for 26 yards. Martin Emerson, like you said, just 1 catch for 6 yards. They targeted him 6 times. He only allowed 1. Rodney McLeod, 2 targets, 2 catches for only 8 yards. Jamar Chase, running his mouth, only caught 1 pass for 4 yards on Denzel Ward, 0 for 0 on Emerson, and 2 for 18 on Newsome. That's it. That was all.
Wow. Man.
And you felt the energy of that right off the bat. We felt that at training camp. We were like, man, this is different. And even when we were talking to players about, like, hey, is the defense going to be like what we think it is? They were like, no, it is that serious. It is that for real. And they're showing it. And as a unit, it's so complimentary because for years we'd have a good secondary, but maybe the line's a little weak, so it doesn't even matter, or vice versa.
Yep.
The whole unit looked great. The front, Miles, say what you want about him, had a really nice game, and probably one of the plays of the game on that sack on fourth down.
Yeah.
Basically secured the win for us.
Mm-hmm.
Zadarius Smith, I literally felt like he went completely like under the radar, but in the game he was everywhere. He was constantly on Burrow. I think he had is it four? Was he at four hurries on him or 4 hits? I don't think he hit him that many times.
Let me see. So I've got the line stats too. So I'll just run through those stats, but then you can dive back into Smith. The Bengals only ran 54 plays. They dropped back to pass 33 times. We generated pressure on 17 of those, so 51.5%. Miles and Zadarius each had 6 pressures. So 12 of those 17 pressures were our boys, the dogs out there. You know what I mean? Miles and Zadarius.
Right. And they have an identity. They're building an identity on this defense, something that we haven't had. They are for real. And they look like they're going to be – there was very few plays where 2 years ago I would have been like, oh, it's 3rd and 10. This is going to be an 11-yard catch. They never gave up the first down, I felt like. Obviously, there was first downs, but I felt like when it was like 3rd and 8, they got 7 or 6, or if they even got that.
There really weren't a whole lot of first downs, Justin. I'm going to push back on you on that.
2 for 15 on 3rd down. I don't know how many total first downs they had, but I'll say 6.
They had 6.
Man.
Okay, yeah.
We had 21.
Which is incredible. That is a seriously good offense. A team that will take Kansas City to the limits, punch for punch, in an AFC Championship game. The defense is for real. Say what you want, weather sucked, whatever. I can't wait for a good weather game in another city, not Cleveland.
Right.
Because it's going to rain.
Yeah, we held them to just 2 of 16 on 3rd and 4th down combined. And like you said, just 6 total first downs, and we had 21. And you could feel that difference out there. They came out on the field, and after, it's the Bengals. It's Joe Burrow. You always have to be nervous when a good quarterback and a good offense take the field. And then the first few series when we were just beating up on them, and I'll go up to Andrew Jackson's comment up here. Thank you, Andrew. We appreciate the donation. He says, Martin Emerson's interception, in quotes. Yes, it was out of bounds, but it set the tone early. I mean, what was that? Was that the second play of the game?
Took the ball from the guy. Yeah. He just walked right in front of it. And I mean, obviously he wasn't able to get it down, but you saw immediately that they were going to be incredibly aggressive. It wasn't going to be we're going to play off these guys. We're going to let Chase have 170 yards or whatever. He had that one game where he had 16 targets and 10 catches. I was just very, very impressed. Yeah. And they're young. They're a young team, like, for the most part, especially in the secondary. Man, it was very incredible.
I really like that point about that interception. Yes, it was out of bounds, but when you're a quarterback and you throw an interception, whether the guy's out of bounds or not, I mean, he caught the ball. Like, he came up, he ball hawked your receiver and took the ball. Mm-hmm. He was out of bounds. But it's just like, wow, that was the first drive of the game, and the rest of the game now you're thinking, damn, these guys are here to play.
Mm-hmm. And there was nothing just given away. Everything was contested. The 30, 40 little yard drops, where they're tossing it out. T. Higgins completely shut down. I completely forgot about that.
Nothing.
We shut T. Higgins down. He had a goose egg. He was targeted 8 times. It wasn't like they forgot he was on the field. Yeah. They went at him 8 times.
He was playing in one of my leagues.
Yeah, he was playing in a lot of leagues, man. He was getting drafted extremely high. He's talented. He's a very good receiver. You're still winning?
I'm going to win that one.
That was a huge thing. So they have, I mean, that's what everybody talks about. Oh, the Bengals receivers, and then it's like our third receiver is Tyler Boyd. We've got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Well, yesterday you didn't have any of them.
Boyd had 2 catches for 10 yards.
And we shut down T.
And Tyler Boyd isn't a slouch. Tyler Boyd's a third on that team. He's getting older, but he's a good receiver.
Guys, I want to say something about the chat real quick.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't hate the pass interference call against Ward. I didn't hate that, honestly, especially when I saw the replay.
I thought it was contested.
The only reason
I
he
like-
got
and
called is
there's
because he got a little bit of the jersey.
Jersey pool.
I don't
Yeah.
think it alternated his route at all, though.
I think it slowed him down enough. I mean, it was a catchable ball. It's considered a catchable ball, so I didn't hate the call. I do think that we should have gotten one. I believe it was Amari in the end zone.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that one. But I will say that, Justin, you can attest to this, at the game, like, and I'm sure you can see it on TV, Myles Garrett's getting choke-held every single play.
Oh,
And
it's,
the
dude, it's
replay
ridiculous.
team
Hell,
in Cleveland Browns Stadium is amazing.
They're
'cause
very good.
They'll show
Yeah.
a close-up of the replay of Myles Garrett getting his
yeah.
helmet
Or
almost ripped off his
the-
head,
the
and then they
hand
pause
in
it,
the-
and they pause it,
Yeah,
and the whole
hand
crowd
in
just
in the shoulder
boos.
pads.
It's
Mhm.
good, man. It's good
No,
stuff.
yeah. I thought the atmosphere yesterday at the game was pretty incredible. It was I was joking with people. I've probably been to maybe 60, 70 Browns games, maybe more than that. That was the loudest I've ever heard that place. And I don't know if it was just we're feeling it. When Joe Burrow got sacked on fourth down, they were trying to talk through the PA, and you couldn't even hear the PA. It was just like background noise. And then D-Hop, our version of D-Hop, when he made his first field goal, that place was incredibly loud. Like, you would have thought that
I could tell.
scored a
Man,
Hail Mary.
Well, it was super
how
quiet.
nice is that?
It's just like
Yeah.
everybody's holding their breath, like, oh, God, please make this kick. And I mean, you think about it. He goes out there, 3 field goals. He's 3 for 3, makes his extra point. He goes from 42, 34, and 43. I mean, those are the kind of field goals that we have to be relying on.
Those were the kind of field goals that for the last season and preseason have held us hostage. We're sitting there holding our breath. I can remember the Chargers game was the one that just really, really stands out to me, where I'm just like, man, we had them absolutely on the ropes. All we had to do was just kick a field goal. We're getting out of here with a win.
Yep.
The Baltimore game. It's nice to see just consistency. You know what you're going to get there. You know that you're going to get 3 points for the most part. And then in pregame, I don't know what time you guys got into your seats, but he was kicking 60-yarders, I guess, with it drizzling and everything. So maybe he got a little bit more leg than people are giving him credit for.
I will say one stat that I think goes, it's a stat that, you look at and you think, okay, whatever. But I think it's a testament to Dustin Hopkins. The Browns did not attempt a 4th down yesterday. I feel like in some of those situations last year, Kevin would have gone for it. But instead, we sent Hopkins out there and he punched it through.
Yep.
Yeah,
I was never nervous.
That's what I wanted to
all
see.
looked great too. Go ahead, John. Sorry, buddy.
And I was just saying that's what I wanted to see, and I said it last year. Obviously we couldn't trust York as much as we wanted to, but I think going for it on 4th down, it became predictable. Somehow the defense it's like they just knew what we were going to do or something. Going for it on 4th down screwed us hard last year, a lot of times.
For multiple years, I felt like it was always just a broken play on 4th down, or
Yeah.
Baker pump faked it 4 times and then threw it out of bounds. Like, it was just like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. All right.
Yeah. See, all right. So that kind of goes. Rick Adkins here. Thank you, man. We really appreciate it. He says, Miles, Delpit, Ward, Emerson were all here last year on the defense, and the difference is coaching. I would say the big difference is coaching. The defensive line personnel. It's insane. It's insane, the guys that we have on that defensive line right now. But overall, coaching is huge. You just see it in the way these guys are flying around the field. They know where they're supposed to be, and they're there. They don't miss tackles. They hit guys. They bring them down. They're just fierce, and it's awesome not to have Joe Woods here anymore.
Yeah, I totally agree. Coaching is, I kind of want to almost call it a tie between coaching and the personnel we added, but I'd rather have Jim Schwartz with last year's defense than this year's defense with Joe Woods.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, I'm with you
I
on that.
agree with the comment 100%. Coaching is a tremendous difference. It's just been one game in. It's been amazing to watch. So I can't wait. I can't wait to see what comes next.
And Juan Thornhill didn't play yesterday.
Yeah.
Right.
Just
And the defense has
wait.
crazy chemistry. Like you can tell locker room, if you guys have seen anything in the locker room, the defense and Schwartz, that's one unit. There's some serious chemistry brewing up, and they're playing their asses off for that guy. And it shows.
Yeah, that's what we need. I'm going to dive into the next voicemail if you guys are good.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do it.
All right, Brown Tiger, I hope you're still in the chat listening. This one is for you.
Hey guys, this is the Brown Tiger. I just got done watching the game, and I'm still at a good high off of this game. Like, I'm sure you're going to get a bunch of voicemails on this, but my God, at the defense that this team plays at, if we play like this, and I get it was the Bengals and everything, or the Bengals, or the wannabe Tigers, as I like to call them, but if we can play defense like this, there ain't no team, period, that can match us as far as the defenses wise. Like, my God, that defense is so night and day different than what we have ever seen. And you know, Watson, going to him, he struggled a little bit at the beginning, and we all love Watson. We know he can do great and everything. I just still think it's going to take a little bit more time. He started to feel himself towards the end of the first half, and then about midways in the second half. The one thing I take away from this is that, yeah, it's just going to take a little bit more time, and you can start to see him starting to be comfortable again. But this defense is for real. Go Browns.
Yeah, defense is – go ahead, Justin. I was just going to defense is for real.
The thing I wanted to touch on was just with him, with Watson. Like, I agreed. As the game continued, you saw more of, like, that old guy. You saw the first down, you know, you saw the playing the guitar and stuff like that. There was a throw, and I believe it was either, I don't know exactly where it was at. Maybe it was second quarter. He hit DPJ on the sideline for probably like 11 yards. And when he threw it, I just was like, oh my God, that's going to be a pick six. This dude is completely taking this thing to the house. And it literally was one of the most nasty finesse throws that I've seen in a while from a Cleveland quarterback, where he just dropped it right over the fingertips of the cornerback, and then the safety was right there too. I mean, the safety hit pretty much DPJ as soon as he caught the ball.
Yep.
But he made that throw, and I was just like, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. And this is in a bad weather game. I just want to see more consistency. And then the big thing for me was what he did with his legs.
Yeah.
Rushing, he had 45 yards, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Rushing. It's just another element to what the offense can be. You already have Nick Chubb, who's just Nick Chubb. We don't even have to talk about Nick. Nick Chubb, you already know what you're going to get. He's going to go out there. He's the heartbeat of the team. He's in a new upgraded, we're going to pass the ball a lot more. We're still pounding the rock. So, but no, I'm excited for Watson. I thought if I had to grade him or something like that, I'd give him maybe like a B minus, a B. I didn't think he was awful. Yeah, there was some things I didn't like that made me nervous. Obviously, the balls, you know, some of the inaccuracy stuff. But who knows, you know? But I thought there was enough there to I'm ready for next week. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. My big thing with Watson is I can tell he's still not 100% trusting what he's seeing on the field. I think he's still kind of getting reacclimated to trusting, okay, my receiver is open, or yes, I can make this throw. Like you said, the throw to DPJ showed that he's got that touch in that. I mean, it wasn't just like a lucky throw, like, oh, he didn't see the guy and he just managed to get it over him somehow. No, like he put it in the only spot it could be for DPJ to make the catch, and he did. And like the throw to Amari where he slipped and fell, it was behind him a little bit. It took him a minute. He was open for a while, but Watson didn't see him right away. The trick play where he took the pitch or whatever from Chubb and then came back around, and all he has to do is throw it out in front of Marquise Goodwin down the field and lead him, and that's an easy walk-in touchdown, and he throws it late. So it's just kind of things like that where it's like, okay, I liked the play calling yesterday. I kind of liked how we were mixing things up, trying to do some things, razzle-dazzle here and there, nothing too crazy, but just enough to keep people on their toes, using Elijah Moore in different ways.
Yes.
I just think Deshaun needs to settle in and trust what he's seeing, and the interception was tipped, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
I thought so.
I couldn't tell. Well, I didn't notice it, I should say, in real time. But yeah, it was definitely tipped.
Yeah, because he said that in his post game. He said, "Yeah, that interception was tipped." He's like, it's tough out there with the elements and all that kind of stuff. So,
Yep.
Overall, though, I do think it was obviously it wasn't fireworks for Deshaun Watson the whole game, but it wasn't fireworks for anybody. It was a crappy game. Joe Burrow looked terrible, and I think Deshaun showed enough to be excited and encouraged.
The thing that's funny today is you have two sets now. Bengals fans. You have well, we're done. Listen, the whole thing looks like it's falling apart. We've paid too much money to Joe Burrow, and then you have the other fans that are like, "And we did this last year, and we damn near made it to a Super Bowl again." So, not a problem. I look forward. I want to see them all healthy. Joe Burrow against Deshaun in Cincinnati for hopefully maybe an AFC North title.
See,
that would be very, very exciting.
And Bengals fans they'll never give us any due as Browns fans, but I have no problem sitting here saying Bengals will have a winning record this year. They're a good team.
Yeah,
that's a solid offense.
They're a good team.
They're tough. That's why I'm so excited about the way we played on defense, because I know what they're capable of. So that's why it's just even more impressive of a win. I've got some Deshaun stats, though, that I wanted to say. So he was 16 of 29, 55.2% completion, but man, it was rough out there. His adjusted completion was 69.2. Career average is right around 75, so he was below that. But the Browns did have 2 drops. I think they considered that one with Goodwin a drop, and because it was right in his hands.
And then David Bell had a real bad one. It was his only target of the game.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, man. And the fans gave it to him.
Yeah, and
real hard.
Blake even looked at me and was like, "Was that David Bell?" I said, "Yeah, that was Bell." He said, "He doesn't drop passes." I said, "No, that's not his thing." So that was disappointing to see. Another cool stat that I found, 45.7% of the dropbacks yesterday were play action. He was 10 of 14 for 117 yards and a touchdown on play action plays. So they're running a lot of play action. He's very good. One thing I told Blake, I said, whenever he does that play fake with Chubb or the running back and hides the ball and then comes around, he does a really good job. Like, it fools me sometimes. I'm like, did he keep it or not? It's good. He does a good job.
I don't know if you guys watch Hard Knocks, but Aaron Rodgers is like a magician at doing that. He's very, very good at doing it. You should watch Hard Knocks just for that.
Well, that's
you won't be able to tell.
Them talking about in Green Bay was how good he was with his play action fakes.
Oh, it's ridiculous. But no, and absolutely, we have Nick Chubb in the backfield as a weapon. If they're going to bite and bring everybody down for Nick Chubb, play action, beat him over the top.
Yep. You guys want to do another voicemail? Got 2 left.
Yes.
All right, this is from Joe Murica.
What's up, guys? This is Joe. I'm from Menor, or America, from Kenny Mac's Fantasy Football League. It's a little past 1 a.m. here for me, but I had to record the game because I work Sundays. Just want to say that that was one hell of a game. Wish the weather wasn't so much of a factor to begin with, but defense definitely was the star of the show. That was a hell of a performance. I really hope it just carries over week after week, but that was one hell of a job from them. Nick Chubb, I'm glad they still fed him the ball because that worked out great for him. Let's not just, give Deshaun the ball every single play just because we have a new shiny toy. We know we have a good offensive line. We know Nick Chubb is a beast. Let's just keep feeding the choo-choo train. Chubba chubba choo-choo. The only other thing that really worried me other than the weather, which you can't, help that, is when Deshaun Watson would scramble from the pocket. He seems to be running like a running back and not a quarterback. And it just feels like to me he's getting a little lucky. Hopefully he doesn't get like an injury from not trying to slide or anything like that. But overall, I really thought it was a great game.
Yeah, that is one good point that I did want to mention. I felt the same way. When he was running the ball, he wasn't looking to get down. He was looking to take on contact and get more yards. And that does concern me a little bit. What about you guys?
Yeah, I agree. It's dangerous. Running quarterbacks get hurt a lot, especially, in the NFL because the defense is so big, strong, and fast. And they're not nice either, so doesn't help.
Wow. Oh, they're not?
I am worried about it, so it would suck really badly if he got hurt, even for one game. It's just not something I want to see. Maybe they'll talk to him about that, just tell him to slide. Because as much as I like to see it, I don't want to see it out of my quarterback.
No, but I will say, if you go back and watch the Deshaun Watson highlights in Houston throughout his career, this is how he plays football. And you got to get the same thing with Josh Allen in Buffalo. They say, oh, well, we need to get him down more, run him less. When these guys are on the field and that's their instinct and that's how they play football, it's really hard to get that to turn off. They just go into that.
He's
mode.
A competitor.
Yes.
He's a competitor. He's not. It's 3rd and 10. He's not taking anything less than 10. You know what I mean? Both times, the ones that I remember, the one he kind of spun off a guy and just kind of broke off, off the shoelaces. But like I get what you guys are saying. I love the energy. I like the competitor part of it. I'm sure once he got to the sideline, like John said, somebody was like, "Hey, man, next time let's just slide that one in there." But no, does it make me nervous? Yeah, I don't want to see Watson get hurt, but I like that he's willing to go get it.
Yeah. Well, and Andrew Jackson made a good point here in the chat. He said, well, what about Watson's block on Elijah Moore's cutback? So
I love that.
You want to talk about that play? Let's just talk about that play.
I love that
Elijah
whole
Moore
play.
Just in general.
Yeah. We laughed about it earlier. After the play was over and they're like, was it a 19-yard game? I felt like he ran forever. Like he ran to the right, but when he cut back to go back the other way,
19, yes.
Cincinnati's D-line absolutely just they all dropped. They all slipped. Watson threw a great block. And that's what we've been hearing about all summer. Like, hey, Elijah Moore, this is going to be a big part of the offense. We're going to use this guy everywhere. And they did. And when he did get the ball, he looked electric. He looked great.
Yeah, he did. I put in my notes here, Elijah Moore is a full-time player for the Cleveland Browns.
Yes.
According to PFF, and I mean, this stat honestly kind of surprised me, but he played on 100% of the passing snaps, and he also ran 2 run snaps. Mm-hmm. So, like, you got to carry out of the backfield. He is a full-time weapon for this offense. I mean, DF, our boy Derek Frisbee, was talking about Elijah Moore being utilized like Deebo Samuel for the Browns, and you're seeing it. They're putting him everywhere. They're using him any way they can, and the dude looks like he's feasting on it. He loves it. Yeah.
I mean, he's built a little differently than Deebo.
He's a lot smaller.
Deebo can punish you, but I mean, this guy is probably a lot more shiftier than Deebo. This guy is an elite route runner and has speed. And I know I thought he had, I can't remember how many drops he had. I know he had 1 for sure. I know he was 3 for 43 and 7 targets. I just remember 1 drop, but for the most part, he's been very reliable, and they've utilized him a lot just in the 1 game.
I didn't think he had a drop, but okay, maybe. Do you remember when that was?
No.
It's all right. Well, anyway, Elijah Moore, you guys in the chat, just let us know what you guys thought about watching him deployed for the first time yesterday. That was exciting to see. Let's do this last voicemail from Phil Davis, and then we'll just keep talking. How's that sound?
Okay.
What's up, guys? It's Phil. Oh, it's a beautiful evening here in Cincinnati. The tears of the Bengals fans are delicious. Just an absolute domination from the defense. I am blown away. I am really happy because I get to go to work tomorrow and talk a lot of shit, and it's going to be awesome. One thing I will say, I want to see us keep this going. I want them to play like this every game. Use this anger, this disrespect everyone's had for us for so long. Just wreck this league. I think we can do some good things this year. We keep playing like this. Offense, a little shaky, but I think they'll get it together. It was a bad weather game. Well, it's so amazing to finally put a game together in all 3 phases. All right. I will talk to you guys next week. Go Brownies.
It would be fun to be in Cincinnati just for a couple minutes. I wouldn't want to stay long. But I gotta
just gotta pass through.
Yeah, I just want to see the pain that they're in, the suffering. I would really love that.
Yeah.
Bengals fans suck. I hate them.
Oh man.
No, that's what I don't. Yeah, I do.
They're
you did
really
do that.
struggling with this loss, and I think it's because they recognize that they do have a good team. They have a really good offense, and it just got shut down.
Yeah.
Totally, completely shut down. I was telling Blake, we were watching by the end of the game, Joe Burrow's dropbacks, I mean, as soon as he took the shotgun snap, it was turn and throw. Half the time he didn't play on his feet. He would just turn, and I don't even think he got the laces. He's just throwing the ball out on a screen out to his receivers on the side because it's the only way he could get the ball in their hands. You can't go down the field. There was no downfield passing yesterday.
Right. And I mean, you're not going to get a whole ton of it. They tried a little bit, but and I don't know how you guys felt, but I'm not sure Joe Burrow is 100% healthy. And
I don't think so.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm Cincy. I'm rolling him out there in a game where the weather is absolute trash with suspect calf, and if he tears it or something like that's it, season's over, we're done.
Mm-hmm.
So I questioned if he was healthy or not. Obviously they're not going to bring that up. He'll be full participant the rest of the year until if he gets hurt, but I don't think he was 100%.
Yeah, well, I think he was out there because they really wanted to get their season started off on the right foot.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know why they thought they had a shot.
Well, and we detailed the stats, the history. I mean, now the Browns are 11-2, right? No, I'm sorry, 9-2 in their last 11 against them. Joe Burrow is now 1-5. He's never beaten the Browns at home. He's never beaten the Browns when we sack him more than once. We got 2 yesterday, so they were beat before the second sack. But it's still nice to see the statistical trend continue. I put in here, offensively, we outgained them 350 yards to 142. We did commit 5 penalties for 43 yards. They only had 4. I forget how many yards. We turned the ball over twice. The Jerome Ford fumble was, it's just, we had momentum. We were at least going to score 3 points there. He got held up, stood up, and it's like, dude, you need to get low. You need to run low. And we even said, you need to be in there in the preseason if you're not, a solidified runner like Nick Chubb.
I felt like that play was just goofy right off the bat. I mean,
we fumbled the snap.
It was dropped, and then it somehow just bounced right up to him, and then so we literally fumbled it twice on one play. But I mean, he was going for it. Got stood up. Guy ripped the ball out. I think he'll be all right. He looked great yesterday for the most part.
He did.
He had some really, really nice plays. Now I'm sure the fumble, he's probably beating himself up over that, but I thought his play was nice for a guy that's coming in and giving Nick Chubb a breather. I mean, he looked a little Nick Chubbish from section 512 after a lot of shots. So
he looked Nick Chubbish from the TV. Wearing 34. It's like what was that Nick Chubb? No, that was Ford. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, he's got more juice than Kareem Hunt did. I mean, I know a lot of people were saying, "Well, bring Hunt back. Why didn't we bring Hunt back?" The Browns said he just didn't have it anymore last year, and that's why they quit utilizing him. That's why they felt comfortable with Jerome Ford. And, I mean, he did show that yesterday. He looked good. He had some big runs. There was one where he had a big run, and then I think he came back, and the next play he got like a 2-yard gain or something. And Blake said, well, why'd they take Chubb out? I said, that last one was Ford. He's like, oh, that was Ford with the long run? I said, yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I don't know.
No, he'll be good. He'll be fine.
Let's see.
All right, what else you got?
Trying to think what else. I keep seeing people talking about Steelers stuff. Cam Hayward, yes. We can kind of shift over to that talk a little bit.
That's pretty big.
That's a big.
Yeah. I wanted to bring one thing up for you guys to talk about real quickly because I talked to a few people about this and I kind of agreed with them. I understand, and I see both sides. Do you guys think we started just running the ball, trying to run the clock out, maybe one series too early? Because we went pretty much 3 and out and punted with 5.5 minutes left.
I don't. Go ahead, Justin. You got it.
I felt like after that sack on Joe Burrow, it really didn't matter. Momentum was gone. Burrow ended up coming out of the game with how much time left? I mean, they pulled him early, and it didn't matter anyway if he was out there or not. I will say there was moments during the second quarter I felt like they kind of had momentum for a second, and even the third quarter I felt like they had momentum, and then the missed field goal it was just right back to, hey, no problem dominating. The offense was doing enough to keep them off the field. So it's all good.
Yeah, and John, I will tell you, Blake would agree with you on this though, because we were sitting there, and I know what you're talking about. It was 3 and out, right?
Yeah, it was 3 and out, and I think there were like 5.5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter.
Right. So whenever that happened, Blake said the same thing. Like, that was kind of stupid. I wish we'd at least, gotten a first down or something. That would have been nice. And I told him, I said, yeah, but that was also 2 full minutes. Yeah, 120 seconds, 2 full minutes off the clock in those 3
Now,
plays.
I get it, and I get the strategy.
Yeah.
And we were up by 21 points. So that's why I didn't hate it. I mean,
if the Bengals had shown any sign of doing anything at all during the game, I would have felt the same way. But they just couldn't do anything.
They couldn't do.
It would have been nice if we could have got in the next possession. We did get 1 first down on a passing play.
Yeah, which was awesome. That was a great play by Kevin, because we were just run. They were coming up on it, and it's like, okay, screw you guys. We're just gonna play action this, sneak out, and just do a little dump off. That was a great play, I thought, to Akins.
Yeah. So yeah, I do see both sides though. I see both sides to the argument. Ultimately, it didn't matter. Our defense was going to stop them anyway. I mean, it was just the Bengals, right? So,
jeez, man.
One thing that Robert Britton here says, Browns complete control the whole game, and I felt like, in football, really, if you dominate the line of scrimmage, they say you control the game. And on both sides of the ball, our offensive line overall did really well. And defensively, it just felt like as soon as the ball was snapped, it was pressure every time. Even if it wasn't statistically calculated as a generated pressure or whatever, they were coming. You could just feel the pressure. You could feel the heat. And it showed, because Burrow he had to get rid of the ball fast, and a lot of times it came out looking real stupid too.
Yeah, not his best game. Probably one of the worst in his career.
Definitely the worst of his new contract.
Oh boy! Oh my lord!
Wow. Okay. Do you guys let's just touch on this Cam Hayward stuff. So the defensive tackle for the Steelers, pulled groin or groin injury. He's going to be.
I just saw groin.
IR. You said 8 weeks. Is that what they said? Something about 8 week.
The last thing that I saw, his expectancy. Yep. So he could miss up to 8 weeks, and we'll go on IR.
Well, and and the thing is, we said, like, what week do we play them again? The second time doesn't. It doesn't matter. I don't care about the length of the thing. He's not going to play Monday night, so that's a huge loss for them. And that just Nick Chubb runs wild on everybody anyway, and without Cam Hayward in there, oh boy. Because I'll tell you what, Kenny Pickett looked like garbage yesterday against the 49ers defense, and our defense is right there too.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal, man. Especially for them, they are coming off a game where going into that game, everybody was hyping them up. The Kenny Pickett hype was real, and I kind of might have been selling it a little bit, just a little bit. Not because of the preseason, but it's not like he's an absolute scrub. Like, I think there are traits there. But I expected him to take at least a step, not like a Trevor Lawrence step, but I expected him to improve. And man, they did not look good. They did not look good at all. Now, they played a great team also. We'll see what we match up with 49ers, what we look like. But
right out the bye, yeah.
That's a tough game right off the bat for the Steelers. I'm glad they had that scheduled. Helped us out a little bit as far as divisional rankings. But I don't know. I mean, that's a tough loss for him. I believe in Mike Tomlin as far as like being an excellent coach. I think they have an uphill battle as far as just getting to 500, but if there's a head coach that can make that happen, it'd be him.
Yeah. Did you guys? One other thing I was thinking of touching on here while we got the chat rolling. Baltimore got to go, or actually got to. I'm sorry, they got to host the Houston Texans, and this was not supposed to be any sort of, difficult matchup or anything. And it was. I didn't get to watch the game. Obviously, we were in Cleveland watching that game, but this high flying Ravens pass heavy offense under Todd Monken, based on the stat line, doesn't look that great. I mean, Lamar 17-22. Okay, cool. He only had 5 incompletions, 169 yards, no touchdowns and a pick. Whoop-de freaking do. Where's these big passing numbers?
what, 40 yards rushing, which is like another thing that they excel at, and it helps design what they want to do on offense. And then on top of that, just to lose J.K. Dobbins for the year now, they have running back depth, but J.K. Dobbins, when he's healthy, he's one of those dudes. He is very, very good. So to lose him right off the bat, it sucks for him too. Ohio State guy, just can't stay healthy, man.
Yeah, it just sucks, man.
I feel like he's just always hurt. Always hurt. But
next week, week 2 is such an important week.
It is.
The Ravens have the Bengals, and we have the Steelers.
So one thing that, before we get out of here, the AFC North and I know, I get it. It was just 1 week. But you think about all the preseason hype for each of these teams and what were the main storylines? Like you were saying, Justin, for Pittsburgh, it was Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett's taken that step. He was the most accurate in the preseason, blah, blah, blah. Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, highest paid quarterback, the elite offense, passing attack, blah, blah, blah. Ravens, Todd Monken, they're going to open it up. They're going to be, a very dangerous offense. All three of those things sucked yesterday. And the one thing for the Browns, the storyline was our defense is going to be nasty. And that held true. So it's nice to be the one team whose offseason, the main source of hype was real.
Yes. Yeah.
Our
defense was even more real than I thought. And I think the weather played a role in both teams' offense. I do think the Bengals would have gotten in the end zone in a perfect weather game. But man, our defense still, regardless of weather, we looked so competent compared to anything I've ever seen the Browns do. And I don't know about you guys, but it's just muscle memory had me so nervous every time it was 3rd and long, because the Browns love to give up 3rd and long. And man, it was so nice to watch a defense that they have the pieces in place to be a great defense, and then they actually executed. I've never seen anything like it from Cleveland, so I'm so excited right now.
I know. I feel like we really have to unlearn some bad habits this year. I mean, I hope that's the case. I hope this isn't obviously like some one-game fluke, but that's why I like I said before, earlier in the show, this is a great offense we went up against. Yes, the weather was crappy, but, we managed to score points. We managed to get the ball down the field. So for us to just completely shut them down, that is awesome to see.
Sure is.
And you're right. It's not like we gave up, oh, shoot, there was that one 50-yard pass or that one broken tackle that, the guy took for 30 yards. There was none of that. There was nothing.
No, they got 3 points on, wasn't that the same drive we had the PI call?
Yeah, otherwise it would have been a shutout.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat here said that Jim Schwartz had the defense running laps today for those 3 points.
I saw that. That's funny. And that's
I forget who said it, but that's just different.
Just to hit back on what you said too, Josh, about like the division and how they came out. It's week 1 too. All these teams are going to be a lot better. Cincinnati, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. I think all those teams have the potential to be pretty decent. At least I think they could all make the playoffs, and not this year, but I'm saying like skill wise, roster wise, they all have enough to make it. So I wouldn't just write off our division rivals yet. We're gonna show them.
We're
gonna show them in the next few weeks.
I was basically just saying it was nice in the first week for all three of those teams' main hype pieces to fall short of the expectations right out the gate, and for us to come out swinging.
Come through, yeah.
And yes, they're all going to be good, but I mean, based on yesterday, so are we.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to put the league on blast and just say, we're here. Yeah. This defense it's not a joke. If you want to beat us, you're going to have to beat us.
It's crazy.
I love it.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we're running right up on the hour. Is there anything else you guys wanted to touch on? Anything we forgot to mention? Chat, any last thoughts before we get out of here? What do you guys think?
I think we're good to wrap it up.
Okay.
We said all that needs to be said.
Yeah. I mean, Victory Monday feels awesome. And, hopefully we'll have Blake back when we do our Steelers preview later in the week. But either way, be on the lookout for that. Since the Browns don't play till Monday, we'll probably be coming out with that Friday or Saturday, I'm guessing. But we'll figure it out. And just hope that this defense comes ready to shut down Kenny Pickett. I'd like to see Kenny Pickett not even get close to 100 yards. That'd be two in a row. That'd be awesome.
And then you got Hayward out. You still got Watt there, on the line, but then they're saying Deontay Johnson might miss the game.
That's true. I forgot about that.
That would also really, really be just awesome. Unfortunately,
Yes.
Things happen,
I don't
man.
like injuries.
I felt like I was being, I'm like, I wouldn't want to wish injury on anybody.
But
like,
we lost an offensive lineman and we lost a defensive end. So
Yes, and people in the chat were saying, too, DeJuan Jones against T.J. Watt next week because T.J. Watt's usually coming off that side of the line. So
yeah,
we'll see. I mean,
even if he's not, they could rotate him. No, they're not going to just – he'll go on the other side.
they're going to give him some help, man. They're going to give him some help.
actually, that's one thing. Going back to Myles Garrett on the defensive line yesterday, I kept pointing out to Blake. I'm like, do you see Myles right now? Look, he's in the middle of the line standing up.
In the middle. Yep.
Standing up.
Absolutely.
I mean, and I said it was interesting to watch, like the offense would be coming up the line, getting set, running their motions or whatever, and Myles is just walking down the line. And it's like, where's he going to line up at? Could you imagine? You got all 5 offensive linemen there going, oh, crap, is he lined up over me? No? Okay.
Yeah.
And then the next guy's like, oh, hell, here he comes. I love what Jim Schwartz is doing with this defense, man. Myles, they're using him the right way finally.
And, going back to DeJuan Jones just for a second, I don't want to compare him to the greats, obviously. He's a rookie. But I kind of feel like he's the type of guy that could give T.J. Watt some trouble. And we've seen the Browns in general give T.J. Watt a lot of trouble. So
he's giving it back. Trust me. He's giving it back also, man.
Oh, for sure. Without a doubt. But, man, I don't know, man. I'm actually kind of excited to watch it. Not because I think we're going to take him out of the game. It's just a matchup I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, me too. I want to see him develop, obviously, because we need him now. He's going to be our starting right tackle, barring an injury to him. He'll be the guy the rest of the year. So for him to come up now, if he comes up against T.J. Watt next week and no pressures all game from that side of the line, I mean, he's 6'8", 375 pounds. I mean, and the guy he's a basketball player. You know what I mean?
They'll move Watt. They'll move Watt so he's going up against Jed Wilson, and then we'll be in trouble.
Then we'll be really screwed. Yeah.
Mm.
Sorry, Jed. You got to pick it up, dude.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's going to do it. Victory Monday. So pumped yesterday. I mean, the high right now, just ride it. Just ride the high. Ride it all week. Chat with the Bengals fans because they're at the end of the day, all you got to do is say 24-3. You guys didn't score. You suck. So it was great. Awesome way to start off season 1-0. Chat, we appreciate you guys are awesome. Thank you for being here with us the whole show, chiming in, giving us all your feedback and input. We love you guys. We love doing the show. And until we talk to you guys for our Steelers preview, keep going Browns.